Welcome back. Last time I took you through the little garden beds, and now I'm going to go to the slightly down the hill garden beds, and then maybe next time we'll go all the way down to the very bottom of the hill gardening beds. You know, it's like which porridge would you like to eat when you break into somebody's house? The uphill, the middle of the hill, or the down the hill porridge? So today we're going to look at the middle porridge, the porridge that is just right. But anyhow, when I was down in South Florida, I have to tell you, if you are down in South Florida, like Fort Lauderdale area, this guy gave me a haircut down there. That is fantastic. But this is the second time I've gone to him for a haircut. His name is Felix. And if you go out Broward Boulevard, while you're in Fort Lauderdale, you go out Broward Boulevard to right where the bridge of the turnpike goes over Broward. There's a little shopping center there, and there's a beauty salon called like My Foxy Lady Beauty Salon. And the other, that's not where I went. In the other wing of that plaza, there is a little barber shop. And Felix is from Cuba, and he does great haircuts. And so go to him. That's all. I just want to plug him. I don't know, I don't even know his last name or the name of the barber shop, but I like it. Let's go down the hill. This whole area right here where we trimmed is soon to be an area of corn and pumpkins. Kind of going to work in between the newly opened area and plant them in here. But first let's go over here and we'll just walk around. I'll show you that when it's done. But these are the pigeon peas. These are the ones that survived the bull coming through and eating. So these are actually looking pretty good. And the grass needs to be cut again. You would not believe how fast things have been growing. We've gotten like, 12 inches of rain in a couple of days over this last weekend. It's just nuts. But the garden beds and everything down here are actually looking pretty good. This is a volunteer pumpkin, which is now climbing up into the top of that citrus tree. It grew over the fence. This is my son's bed right here. This is where the amazing pumpkin is coming from. And a lot of people have asked, do you have problems with vine borers? Yes, I have problems with vine borers. Look at this. The base of this is destroyed. But the thing is, this is a Cucurbita machata. Cucurbita machata root, again, at every joint, and they root really easily. So they're somewhat modular. If a portion of the stem gets chewed out by a vine borer, often the rest of the vine will just continue and keep growing. Look at how good it looks over here. This thing should be dead. But if you have a little bush type, zucchini or something, they don't have any roots along those nodes, they're dead. They're gone. It's over. I know, because I've tried to grow those squash down in Florida and the vine borers would destroy them, but my Seminole pumpkins keep going. So if you have problems like that, plant long, rambly vines, Cucurbita machata. Here we've got tomatoes, which are starting to come in, and they are tied up to these stakes. They're getting actually taller than the stakes. I was not estimating how tall these tomatoes were going to get. I thought, a cherry tomato, they're probably not going to get that big. Well, they're getting that big. There's more over here. They're looking quite nice. And we've actually been harvesting some off of them. These guys down here are looking nice. Somebody asked a couple of videos ago if we grow any watermelons. I don't grow a lot of watermelons because in the past in Florida I had a lot of problems with them splitting, and with them getting eaten by squirrels. They would start to get really nice and then the squirrels would eat them. But we have watermelons right here, and the watermelons are climbing through the middle of the tomatoes from over here, and I've seen a couple of little baby watermelons on them here and there, but I don't know where they are at the moment. Maybe if there's one. I think maybe if I just ignore them, they'll be fine, and then one day I'll just come out here and there'll be a big, beautiful watermelon. I don't know. It's like if I think about it, they're gonna die. And I don't want that to happen. Hey, look at these beautiful little cherry tomatoes coming in. Cherry tomatoes are more vigorous than large tomatoes in general, so if you've had a problem growing large tomatoes, grow cherry tomatoes. They're like cheating. Particularly like in Florida or in the South, grow those Everglades tomatoes. Those things are unbelievable. They grow like a weed. Here we have a bed of ginger. And I wrote on growing ginger and turmeric in Heirloom Gardener magazine a few months ago. And it's so easy to grow. I mean, you can even grow it pretty far north, surprisingly far north. you know, get yourself some ginger from the store and plant it. Most of the time it'll grow. Look at that. Oh, that's great. Totally tropical. They look like little palm trees coming up. All right, let's come over here. Before we get going too far, look at all this mess. Yeah, that's the way we garden. Like Joel Salatin, man. Except we don't make any money off it. All right, here we go. Yard-long beans. These need to be harvested again, but they're my son's, so I just let him do what he wants to with them. He comes out and eats them in stages. Like day to day, he comes out and he picks a few and he eats them, and he picks a few and he eats them, and then some of them just get too big. And I guess he's letting some of them go to seed. He was going to do that. I don't know. I just kind of letting him do what he wants to do. And here, look at this. The corn is taller than I am. It's the Three Sisters garden. And here are the Hubbard squash down here. So far, so good. Some things have been chewing the leaves up. I don't know what. They seem to leave the machadas alone, but Hubbard is a Cucurbita maxima. There's like some footprints in here. Okay, these are Cucurbita machadas. These are the sweet little pumpkin. I planted these a little after the Hubbards. These are Hubbards. See the difference in the leaves? See these leaves? And then look at these leaves. There's a definite difference. I'm not seeing any female flowers yet. The female flowers have what looks like a little squash at the base of them, and that's the ovary. The male flowers don't have that. The male flowers provide the pollen. And so far, we're just seeing male flowers. But usually you get a string of male flowers first, followed by a few female flowers. And that's what we're waiting for now. The corn is looking good. This has just been fed with the manure tea, and it's rich and deep and green and happy and tall. Quite tall. Looking good. Look at this over here. Tasseling out. That's looking pretty nice. So we're definitely going to get some corn. Now the disappointing part of this has been the beans. Look at these beans. I planted beans back here about 3 times, and something is just eating them out of the ground. Like, we went back and planted beans again and again, and now we've got little shrimpy beans that have come up in a few spots. But this was all planted with beans. I don't see any beans. I don't know. These were Kentucky beans. Now, some variety of Kentucky beans that a local farmer gave me. And the seeds would germinate and then disappear and germinate and then disappear. So something's just eating the beans. I've had a lot of trouble with beans here in general. That's pathetic, right? Okay, this thing is just not working. So it's a 2 sisters garden. The 3rd sister is estranged. All right, now look at this. See my living fence? You all thought I was crazy. You said it couldn't be done. Said, what is that? You're just putting sticks up. Well, the sticks are rooting. Look at that. They are rooting, and it's becoming a green hedge. Beautiful living. Look at how tall some of it is. This thing's like, it's growing 3 feet, 4 feet more. So they're rooting, and I'm hoping that over time they're going to actually grow together. Some of this needs to be realigned a little bit, but it's pretty close. And yep, that is Gliricidia sepium, also known as quickstick. This is going to be a fantastic hedge. It's not going anywhere. Living fence. But, you know, second time's the charm. I have to make mistakes at least once or 10 or 30 times before I get it the way I like it, but it's going now. So here we go. We've got the corn coming, looking good, and then at the base we have got squash, and squash is just starting to run. I'm a little worried that maybe I could have gone farther apart with the mounds. When I first put the mounds out here, I thought, yeah, they're pretty far apart, but there's actually a decent amount of shade in between here, so I don't know if the pumpkins are getting quite enough sun, but eventually the corn's going to be done and the pumpkins are going to keep running. So maybe the sisters are just not really lined up with each other properly. And again, you know, sometimes you can't adjust every variety of gardening to every climate. Some things work better than others at different places and different times with different species. So who knows? You know, it might have been a flint corn and a maxima they were growing. It could have been some variety of bean that we don't have anymore. But The general concept I like. Probably just have to keep playing with it and see how it goes. Certainly is beautiful, and at least I'm going to get a bunch of corn, and should be followed by pumpkins. If I get a few beans, that'd be nice too, but the beans are not really all that encouraging right now. Okay, here's one. Oh, you're trying so hard. Good job, little bean. Yeah, good luck. Thanks for joining me. I hope your own gardens are going very well, as it's been very hot and rainy in some places and very hot and not rainy in other places. And if you're in one of those places, I hope everything is going well. And until next time, may your thumbs always be green.
We got three sisters. We got three traditional Native American type of gardening. We got three sisters. We got traditional Native American type of gardening. Traditional Native American.